1920s, or better known as the Roaring Twenties, was a time of changing lifestyles. Clothing became more revealing, vehicles became more popular, and of course, life was harder. Jobs were less common and paid less, and people had much larger families to feed and take care of.
Such tasks were not easy to accomplish, and many people went to drastic measures to ensure their survival and the survival of those they loved. However, some people took this idea and made a career out of it, a career in crime.
These people who made crime their career were called gangsters. They created groups or gangs and carried out large organized crimes together, many of which are still talked about today.
Many of the groups that were created were based off of common ethnicity or origin. It was often that several groups in one area would have a power struggle and create a rivalry. One such rivalry was between the Irish and the Italian gangs in Chicago, Illinois.
The Italian North Side and Irish South Side gangs were in a fierce and deadly competition to be the supreme gang in Chicago. These two gangs were constantly fighting against each other. In the process of trying to topple one another, they committed many scandalous crimes.
One main factor for the fighting was money. Both gangs were suppliers of illegal booze and other illegal substances, which would make them competitors. Being that they sold numerous illegal items, it was their method of making money. If one of the gangs was eliminated, then all the customers would only have one supplier to buy from, hence the power struggle between the two gangs.
The Irish had many crimes they committed, such as racketeering, producing alcohol, and organizing hits upon targets. This gang was led by Bugs Moran, who organized many of the crimes committed by the gang.
On the Italian side of the playing field, murder, robbery, alcohol production, and impersonations were all organized by Al Capone, the most famous mobster of all time.
George Moran, also known as Bugs Moran, was the last gang leader of the North Side Gang. He grew up in St. Paul, Minnesota, with his mother, Maria Diana, and his father, Jules Adelard Cunnin. He ran away to Chicago when he was 19, which was when he became involved in gangs, and was jailed 3 times by the time he was 21. By the time he was 31, he was the leader of the entire North Side Gang.
Leading the South Side Gang, Al Capone, also known as Alphonse Capone or Scarface, is America's best-known gangster and had a leading role in the illegal activities that caused Chicago to have such a bad reputation with crime.
He was born on January 17, 1899, and was the 4th out of 9 children. His parents, Gabriel and Teresina, or Teresa Capone, were from Italy, but Al and his family grew up in Brooklyn, New York. He dropped out of school at the age of 14 when he was in 6th grade and became involved in gang activities around the same time.
Capone was also involved in numerous other criminal activities, such as bribery of government figures and prostitution. But despite his criminal ways, he became a highly visible figure to the public because of his donations to numerous charitable endeavors, and because of that, he was viewed by many as a modern-day Robin Hood.
In his early 20s, Capone moved to Chicago and took advantage of making money by smuggling in illegal alcoholic beverages into the city during Prohibition, which was during the time when there was a nationwide ban on the sale, production, importation, and transportation of alcoholic beverages, which remained in place from 1920 to 1933.
However, his good reputation was damaged when it was said he was supposedly involved in the St. Valentines Day massacre, where 7 rival gang members had been murdered. Although he was accused for being involved in the massacre, he was never actually convicted for it.
On Valentine's Day, 1929, the Capone gang had 2 members disguised as police officers with the intent to execute members of the North Side Gang. Their target was Bugs Moran, the leader of the Irish gang. As police officers, they made a raid on the Irish gang and took them into custody.
However, instead of taking them to a police station, they took them into a garage at 2122 North Clark Street. Using their police disguises, they were easily able to line 7 members of the North Side Gang against a wall and shoot and kill them all.
The gunmen used 2 Tommy guns, a sawed-off shotgun, and a .45 caliber pistol. The killing was bloody and over quickly. Although they were not able to take out Morin, which was their main goal, they were able to kill enough of his gang to where the rest fell apart and the Southside gang came out victorious in the gang battles.
Neighbors nearby the scene saw what they thought were cops walking out of the garage. They thought that police were staging a raid, but after the massacre was discovered, many believed that the police was responsible.
The St. Valentine's Day massacre made newspaper headlines and shocked people across the country. Police desperately tried to figure out who was to blame, but Capone was never convicted for it.